Hey everybody, welcome back. I don't have the dog under my feet today. He's with my wife, her day off, so she gets to babysit the dog. Today I'm working on the mount for the Pitot Tube. This is the Pitot Tube and its mount. It's going to get mounted up in here, kind of like that, flat, level, plumb. And all it does is measure airspeed. For the most part, this one has another little special feature on it by that little hole in the bottom there that measures angle of attack too. And that tells you if you're in flat level flight and going slow, the nose typically comes up in the plane, and if you get up, and this is exaggerated, so that you're going along level, you're not gaining altitude, that the air pressure in the bottom hole is starting to become stronger and lets you know that you're getting close to and can exceed what the plane wing is capable of keeping you in the air with. So typically, that's where it flies. Anyway, we're going to see if I can convert this into a mount without breaking it. This is 6061 aluminum, which is tempered. This is my paper doll that I was made up to see how things were going to fit. It bent fine in that angle. Worked out great. Here, this one bent 90 degrees that way, developed stress cracks in it because I was bending it with the grain of the aluminum. I don't know if you can kind of see, hopefully the grain runs this direction. If I was bending this line up at a right angle to the grain, not a problem bending 6061. But if I'm bending it with the grain this way, it'll break if I bend too tight of a radius on the bend. So we're going to see how this works out today and whether I'm making a second one. Anyway, we'll get to it. one more part completed, really mostly anyway. It is the pitot mount. It is all clecoed in place right now. All those clecos will come out and be replaced with rivets and epoxied so that this whole piece becomes permanent with the figure, with the aircraft wing, and it will never come out. I can't do it yet because this tube that runs through all the ribs has to be epoxied in place yet. And once it is, this mount will get epoxied to the tube, and there will be a rivet coming from the other side through and riveting into this also at the same time. That'll make that nice and solid. It's pretty solid right now. I have it all within the dimensions the Dynon calls for. It's supposed to be a minimum of 2 inches back from the leading edge, no more than 12 inches back. I'm going to be right at 3 inches once I get this epoxied in place and get the leading edge cuff that goes on the front here installed. So that's done. The other parts that I'm still working on yet, the pitot tube hooks up to this. This is altitude, airspeed, in-flight data. They go into these 2 ports here. This goes to a static port that doesn't have air, just has normal air pressure on it, not a force type air like the pitot tube itself gets. And I have to mount this too, which is my electric compass. It is going to get mounted somewhere in here, I think, is where I'm going to put it. I haven't decided whether here or going to go here. The only requirements that they require is that it is absolutely dead level in all 3 axes too. As close to 0 degrees as I can get it. They cannot be close to any ferrous metal, this or this, because the possibility that might interrupt the magnetic field from it. Outside air temperature probe can be plugged in to the mag here. The GPS receiver, and yeah, once I make up my mind, I'm full of indecision, but I think I'm going to end up burning the paint off of my servo mount up here, because what I originally was going to do is I was going to make a mount up here for that GPS receiver to go on up here, because it's got to be able to see the sky. Well, I thought, why make up another bracket when I already have a bracket? So it's going to ruin the powder coat on it, but that's okay. I'll remake it. I'm going to make a plate that comes out here that can be mounted on top of. It gets it back out of the way, up where it's not in the way of anything, and I utilize the same bracket and actually should end up a lot lighter than if I have to make a whole new bracket to mount it up in there. So that was a mistake. But not having ever built a plane before, I figure I'm okay to, and allowed to make a few mistakes, as long as I can correct them, right? One thing I did find out with my servo mount, and it's something I need to be very careful of when folding the wings, is that this, when it folds across, can hit right here. So the only thing I have to be careful of is that I actually hold the flap down so that it goes underneath it and folds in here rather than here. That's not a big deal as long as I remember to do that. I don't think there's going to be a lot of reason to ever fold the wings on this, maybe for transport to the airport eventually. But I think that'll be okay. I'll write that down in my book of, hey, remember to do this when you do this before you have an accident. Anyway, that's what I have for now. Thank you for liking and subscribing. I sincerely appreciate it. And as always, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.